A very good afternoon. This is Yuvadiraj Singh and you're watching Myths and Realities. Today we are going to discuss about the Israel and Palestine conflict. The conflict has been the bone of contention since time immemorial and affecting the peace and stability in the Middle East. The Palestinian people have been suffering hostility, bloodshed and refugee crisis in perpetuity. The gravity of the conflict could be understood as two Nobel Prizes were awarded, one for the Oslo Accord 1993 and second for the Camp David Accord 1978. Both the accords were spearheading for developing and peace and stability in Middle East. But friends, the irony or the sad reality is the violence is unabated and hitherto led to the assassination of at least one Prime Minister. And unfold the events in its chronological order and understand the events in its totality. But hold on and retrieve your imagination and ask yourself a question. Not the frivolous one, of course. But isn't it the conflict tantamount to the four most contentious topic of contemporary modern India? Be it India and Pakistan, Pakistan Kashmir, Ram Janambhoomi or the Kashmiri Pandits? Well, if you ask me, it is an all-in-one package. An all-in-one package. No wonder the world recognizes it as the most intractable conflict of all times. Well, the story heads back to the colonial era. In the backdrop of the First World War, Britain promised to provide, I quote, national home in Palestine for the Jewish people under the Balfour Declaration. Well, it sounds British was sympathetic towards Jews as they suffered persecution for the ages. But the story is something else. They had been pressurized by the Zionist Congress. The first Zionist Congress was held in 1897, chaired by Theodor Herzl, which emphasized to establish the State of Israel in Palestine, as in 1922 the League of Nations gave British mandate of Palestine. That is, the Palestine was under Britain administration. But yet again, it signed a treaty with Arabs if they revolted against the Ottoman Empire, they will get independence for the same land. Yes, I'm talking about the Mahmud-Hussain correspondence. Only when Britain and Arabs were rejoicing of their independence, Britain signed a secret agreement with France, Sykes and Picot Agreement 1960, which served the colonial interest. The France could get access to the Mediterranean Sea for trade and commerce, and Britain could control India. Witnessed a large mass migration of Jews to Palestinian mandate. As First World War, famine, Spanish flu, as we can relate it to the coronavirus, and economic crisis of 1929 further exacerbated their crisis. But the darkest chapter of history was still to be added. In Second World War, Jewish Holocaust killed 6 million Jews, and I believe it was the last nail in the coffin. Jew refugees of about 250,000 fled to Palestinian mandate to avoid anti-Semitism in Europe and further persecution and assault. Even when Britishers, who were given mandate of administration in Palestine, restricted their immigration as incumbent Arabs were opposing. But they moved on and the crisis escalated. Ultimately, United Nations moved and proposed a partition plan of 181. Both partition plans of those days failed. United Nations plan for Israel and Mountbatten plan for India. In India, 1971 war created Bangladesh and in Middle East, Israel and Palestine were still under conflict. So it is the poor planning, I suppose. Partition plan was rejected by Arabs and accepted by Israel, and they declared the State of Israel. And so the 1949 Israel and Arab War was inevitable. Consequently, Israel occupied 60% of the Arab area in addition to the State of Israel controlled area as recommended by the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 181. Transjordan annexed West Bank and Egypt annexed Gaza Strip. At this juncture, demographic had changed. Subsequently, Palestinians suffered Nakba catastrophe, and therefore there was an exodus of 7 lakh Palestinians. The Six-Day War of 1967, Israel took preemptive steps by destroying the air and military bases of Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. As Egypt, Jordan, and Syria declared an all-out war on Israel, in which 20,000 soldiers were killed, and Israel losing fewer than 1,000 soldiers. This marked the military supremacy of Israel. Israel seized Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, Golan Heights from Syria, and Israel's victory humiliated Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, in which Abdul Gamal Nasser, the Prime Minister of Egypt, had to resign in shame. Subsequently, Yom Kippur War led to the expulsion of 280,000 to 325,000 Palestinians from the West Bank. Sinai Peninsula was released to Israel. Camp David Accord was signed, and Anwar Sadat, the President of Egypt, and Menachem Begin, the Prime Minister of Israel, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. First Intifada was marked in 1989, when Israel truck collided with a car and 4 Palestinians were killed. Palestinians alleged it was done deliberately and responded by protest, civil disobedience, and violence in West Bank, Gaza Strip, and within Israel, which lasted till Oslo Accord was signed. Oslo Accord was signed in 1993 in the presence of Israel Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and PLO Chairman Yasser Arafat. Later, they received Nobel Peace Prize for creating peace in Middle East. The objective of Nobel Peace Prize was, first, the Palestinian interim self-government under its territory. Second, the withdrawal of Israel Defense Forces from parts of Gaza Strip and West Bank. But no one promised Palestinian statehood. Later, Yasser Arafat was assassinated by right extremists, which commemorated with the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. I think this happens when nationalism takes form of gnostic nationalism. Hitherto, an organization was getting stronger and stronger. Hamas has been playing a part and parcel role in violence aftermath of First Intifada. Are they revolutionary or terrorist? Depends on who is telling you the story. It is said to be a military wing of Palestinians established in 1987, which used violence to assert its existence. It gained its legitimacy in 2006 as it won Palestinian legislative election and became the de facto governing authority of Gaza Strip.